Well, good morning guys and welcome to the Stoneville BBQ backyard. Today we are testing out the first sample of our sweet and smoky jerky barbecue rub, which is going to be used today to marinate some beef strips and create our first beef jerky. I love beef jerky and I can't wait to test this recipe with you. Okay, so before we get started, let's have a look at the ingredients in the barbecue rub today. We've got sweet paprika, chili crushed, brown sugar, the usual salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. Now, the only two things you need to add to the rub, here's my cheat, I made this last night, is Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of water. We've marinated this for 24 hours now, and I'm going to show you what it's going to look like and the most depressing part when we take the rub off to start the jerky process. So I think this is the sad part, because we have to remove the jerky seasoning purely because the last thing we want to do is have wet jerky going into the dehydrator and the Traeger. It just makes it that extra bit difficult to dry out and turn into jerky. So this has been, as I mentioned, overnight, 24 hours. We're just going to lay it out onto this paper here. I'll do that quickly, save a bit of your time. So as you can see, I've been a bit rough with my cut. I didn't really want to make it all, look the same. I didn't want it to look like it did in the supermarket. We're just going to grab each piece now. Really messy job. We're going to dry it out as best we can, taking off a lot of the liquid and throwing it into a little container ready for putting onto the trays. Now, have I been as thorough as I should have been here? Probably not. So that's because I want to be able to get a bit of the flavour still attached to the edges. And what I'm going to do sneakily is open my next sample packet and I'm going to sprinkle a bit on, just because I really want that flavour, and this will actually help to dry it out as well, which will be great. So let's just mix that up, pull it in, get a bit more in there if I need to, just to give that extra dryness. And guys, if you want to buy this, you can. It's almost ready to go. I'm just waiting on a bit of packaging. $8.95 for 100 grams, $26.95 for 400 grams. Hit me up in the comments. I'll send you some along. You've seen how to make it now. So all you need is the Stoneville Sweet and Smoky Jerky Rub and you're good to go. So the next job, guys, is to just lay each of the jerky pieces onto a grate. I'm using the grates from my dehydrator, and I'm actually going to put these in my barbecue as well. So I have 5 grates in my dehydrator. I'm going to put 2 grates into the dehydrator itself, and then 3 grates hopefully on my Traeger for the smoky one. So we're going to have a smoky version, which will be the Traeger one, and a not so smoky one, which will be the dehydrator. And actually they both take the exact same temperature and the exact same time. So we're going to heat the Traeger and the dehydrator up to a 75 degrees, about 165 Fahrenheit. And we want the meat to be in there for 3 to 4 hours, or until it's dry. It needs to be about 70 degrees inside the meat. Now, I'm going to have some issues because of my very haphazard cutting. Some of mine are very thin, some of them are quite thick. So I'll need to watch mine over the 3 to 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, until everything's nicely dried out. So, first things first, we'll do the dehydrator. We have got our trays that we made. I'm just going to place them in. It doesn't actually matter with a dehydrator which level you put them on, because a dehydrator pretty much is central with its heat. That's the greatest thing about it. So pop them in there on 75 degrees for the full, let's do 4 hours, and away it goes. That's that set. Nice and easy. These dehydrators are available from Kitchen Warehouse. You can also get them in the link inside the description on my video. So if you do want your own, about $189 is a good price. Grab one, they're brilliant. You can dehydrate anything. Now let's do the Traeger. Alright, so let's just pop these on the Traeger. Both quite central. There's our lid. And with the Traeger, we just need to set that to, again, 75 degrees. So let's just pop that down to 75. Lock that in. Ignite. And let it do its thing. The Traeger is probably going to take a little bit longer. It's going to be very smoky, So let's just see how we go. What we need in both instances is for the temperature of the meat to get to 70 degrees and be dry. So we may have to just leave it in for a bit longer. Once you're at 70 degrees, it's not going to go much higher because we're only at 75 in both of our devices, whether it be the Traeger or the dehydrator. I'll show you when it's ready. Okay, so it's been 4.5 hours since we put this into the Traeger and the dehydrator. I added an extra 1.5 hours to the dehydrator and the Traeger because it wasn't quite ready. I also increased the temperature to 80 degrees for the last half an hour just to really make sure that temperature was high inside the beef itself. So all we do now is grab a tray and start to take that meat straight off the grates from the barbecue. Now it's not a huge temperature that we've got inside here, so it's very unlikely you're going to burn yourself. I am wearing gloves, so I've got a little bit of protection, but we just pull it all off nice and easily. Like that. Sometimes it can be stuck to the grate. Just give it a wiggle and it normally comes off. If it is stuck really badly, it might mean that it's not dry, and you might just need a little bit longer inside the barbecue or your dehydrator. Close that, and let's head over to the dehydrator. So exactly the same thing here. Grab your meat out of the dehydrator, nice and easily. Taking it off that tray. Sometimes a bit hard to get off the tray in the dehydrator. So I'll keep doing that, and we'll see you inside. Well, I have to say, wow. We have two different types of jerky here. We've got our dehydrated jerky and our Traeger jerky. They are both exceptional flavors. Take a look. We've got this really dark smoky color on this one. I'm not sure if you can see it on the video. And then on this one, a much lighter red color inside from the smoker. And I'm telling you, this stuff is to die for. Oh, it's hot, it's spicy, it's smoky. That was the Traeger one. I definitely recommend making your own jerky. Really easy, as you've seen today over this 6-minute video. You can buy the rub from my description. Click on the shop and I'll send some to you. And if you're in Perth, I'll even drive it to your door.